Here on this Wednesday evening, the Toronto Raptors in action at home against the Memphis Grizzlies as the starters are being announced here at the ACC. For the Toronto Raptors, this is the starting lineup that Dwayne Casey will put out there. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Rudy Gay, Amir Johnson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Bennett Salvatore, Kevin Scott, Haywood Workman are three officials working this game, and we are underway. But in a game in which, with 2 games remaining in the preseason, as you know, typically most teams kind of gear up then for the regular season. Didn't necessarily see that out of Memphis. You did see it out of Toronto tonight. 5:56 to go. It's 94-62. Here we go. 3 regular. By the way, TSN 2 the first night, Sportsnet 1 in Atlanta, then TSN on a Saturday night.
He's him in the chin and, as you said, got a few stitches. They can look a bit older, a bit more rugged.
Carlos Morais checking in with 5:56 remaining. Austin Day guarding John Lord. Knocked away. Likes Morais, DJ Augustine, Aaron Gray. And it's going to be Toronto basketball with 5:41 to go. Dave Yeager taking over for Lionel Hollins, first-year head coach. This is a Memphis team that won 56 games. They got off to their best start in franchise history last season. Franchise mark, 56 wins. Dominant at home, made it to the Western Conference Finals. West only gets tougher. You think about Golden State, the Los Angeles Clippers. It's amazing how the Clippers are the talk of LA and not the Lakers. Nobody ever, if you follow the league for any length of time, will never figure that. But 2 things happen. You end up with a great #1 overall pick in Blake Griffin, and then Chris Paul decides to go there, and then you get a Doc Rivers, and then shut it down.
Yeah, it's just a different world now over there. And, you know, the Lakers, Kobe's banged up, still with that Achilles. Steve Nash has struggled with health issues last season, this preseason as well. So, hey, the Clippers, and, you know, if you're the Clippers and you're a fan of the Clippers and you endured all of those seasons, you're pretty happy right now that your team is the top contention.
Absolutely. Billy Crystal's loving life.
Oh, sure.
Reed with a slam dunk. Palathis with the setup. 94-66. .420 to go. Bikes gives it to Day. Day triggers the 3. He's got 11.
Good to see Austin Day have a positive outing right here for the Raptors.
Chris Wright's going to check in. Reed backing down, kick out. Gaffney comes up short. Gray with a rebound. Gives it to Morais. Crossover. Spin move in the lane. Denied by Reed. Hustling. Battling for the rebound. Palathis comes away with it across the timeline. Spin move. Nice move. Left hand. And it rolls out. DJ Augustine. Here's Day. Bucket. Austin Day. 15 points, 5 to 6 shooting. Stretch 4 coming alive. 3:18 to go. It's 100-66. It's got that Vegas Summer League feel right now, doesn't it, sir?
Just missing the warm weather, huh?
Austin Day, 5 of 6, 14 points. The Gonzaga product.
He's getting it done, and you know, we're talking about depth on this roster. Austin Day hasn't had much opportunity, hasn't been able to really show what he can do. It's good to see him knock down some shots in this game. A lot of things to work on, but anytime a guy gets a positive outing in a game, it builds confidence. And for him, it's about continuing to build. And he's got the range, he's got that length, he's got a nice looking stroke too. A lot of good things to build on. He's still a young player too.
25 years of age, and you're not, what you're looking for him to do is just what he just did. You're not going to ask for him to play a ton of minutes. You're not going to ask him, hey, you got to rebound the basketball. Come in, be a specialist. Talked about in the last game, Chuck Daly, do one thing. When you do one thing, you can make your way into the NBA and find yourself on a roster. Mike's on the inside, Gray. And Chris Wright out of the University of Dayton. Dayton Flyer, great college basketball scene in Dayton, Ohio. The Flyers there, they love their hoops. And a shot clock violation. 2:37. .230 to go.
You come into a situation like this trying to make a team. The reality is the guys who are going to score are already there in most situations. And you've got to come in and, as you said, fill a role. How consistently can you do that? Are you willing to do what role is asked of you?
Morais with a jumper.
Good to see Carlos knock down that shot. And ultimately, whatever it takes to get on the team and earn minutes, are you willing to do those things?
The steal by Carlos. Behind the back, loses the handle. And Gaffney gets it to Franklin. It's one of those things, specifically from a backup point guard spot. If you do two things, know the offense running, right? Run that offense. And then defend a little bit. If you can defend, run that offense, more importantly, run the offense. And understand, Chris Wright counted plus the foul. And then understand, more than likely, when you're on the floor, you're not within the first three options.
Definitely not. Chris Wright, strong take to the basket. And you're right. Like, it's basically just keep it simple, right? Just keep it simple. Get into your offense. Defensively, don't hurt your team. Take that shot when it presents itself. But just do things that are going to make you not stand out, fit in.
18 turnovers, 27 points off of the turnovers. The Grizzlies shooting just 34%. And the Raptors, this game decided early on in that first quarter. The Raptors outscoring the Grizzlies 27-14. Then in the second quarter, they kept it up 27-13. The third quarter, 32-23. Bigger minutes for the key players for the Toronto Raptors. Under a minute remaining here as Wright misses. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, of course, they will get set for opening night as well. The Raptors have Milwaukee on Friday night. And then, as we've mentioned so many times, can't wait to get it going, Sherm.
Yeah, that regular season can't come quick enough. And for the Raptors, they've put in some time in this preseason. They've made some strides.
And now, and we've said it from the very first preseason game. Now let's see exactly what transpires over the first couple of weeks of the season. 8 seconds. The difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Jim Marshall, our director. Dan Gladman, our producer. Dave Leader. Scott Wallace. And all those that have worked on the crew. We appreciate all your hard work during the preseason, but let the games begin a week from tonight against Boston. 108-72. Very effective defensive effort tonight for the Toronto Raptors. And always a pleasure as Sherm gets in to position. Always a pleasure sitting here providing play-by-play for the Toronto Raptors.